For you, Trig. Can anyone explain, probably you, can anyone explain why Headblade is no longer on the site, but when Trig last fought, they had him in their commercial?
Commercial was cut 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Commercial runs forever.
Are you still the face?
No, well, I don't know. I mean, if he's still using it, he's got proprietary rights to use the commercial. I cut the commercial for him, so I'm probably still in the commercial that he's running around. That he's running. Commercials aren't cut in a day. I've been cutting commercial for the last 4 months. It takes a while.
Cool.
So he cut the commercial. It's just out there.
I personally don't like it when Goes is this quiet.
What's he doing? Stroking off with fucking beef stroganoff?
I don't know. Goes, what's going on?
Bueller.
Sean Shirk's not going back to California. We kind of already knew that. It's a pretty good article by our buddy Jeff Kane from MMA Weekly. Talked about he's just not going to go down there. I mean, he's really, really disgusted. And you know what? Shirk is not going to stop to try and clear his name and reputation. He's talked about all the money he lost on sponsorship and obviously not being able to fight, even though it got reduced by 6 months. And a lot of fighters will go 6 months without fighting. This has really, really bothered him. He says not only will he not fight in California, he will not allow Quest Laboratories to test him because they made a lot of mistakes as well. So he's still on the crusade to clear his name. Part of me gives him props because if it really means that much to him, then hey, cool, you know. But another part of me is like, hey, you know what? I've seen guys like Tim Sylvia, you know, go through this and put it behind them. And honestly, if he had beaten Nogueira, man, I don't think anybody would have remembered his steroid incident from a few years ago. So sometimes it's just best to just, hey, it happened, and we know there was problems with California. So some people do have his back. Obviously, the UFC, Dana White had his back. He's getting an immediate shot, but he also said the prestige of not having the title for 6 months, you know, that costs dollars and cents too. I don't know. What do you think, Trey? You think you should just leave it behind him?
Yeah. I mean, come on. You've already done your time. The damage is already done. Now it's time to put it behind you, but you keep talking about it and bringing it back up again. Is going to make these sponsors, well, you know what? Like, Baroni right now is having a hard time finding a fight because people don't want him to fight because he just failed a drug test. Shirk has already done his time. He's already paid his fine. It's already done and over with. He's got a spot to fight in. They're giving him a venue. He's fighting for the title again. Shut the fuck up already. Let it go. The longer you talk about it, the less the sponsor are willing to get behind you because you're a risk. So forget about it. Stop talking about it, and hopefully the sponsor will forget. Like, oh yeah, that's right. You know, Sean Shirk's the champ. Who cares? But if you go, hey, he's the champ, but he tested positive in the last year, I don't know if I want to get behind him. It's not necessarily the moral clause I want to have out there.
Yeah, I think I would do the same thing.
There you go. And really, if the UFC says your title shot, your second defense, you beat BJ Penn. Your first defense is in freaking San Diego. You don't have a choice. You don't get a choice. And I'm never going to fight in California again. Well, you know what? If your title shot and that's the card we're putting on happens to be in California, it's in Anaheim. That's where you got to go. Now, the UFC's going to give him the option. He can't tell the UFC, hey, look, I'm not fighting in California. I'll fight anywhere else but California. Figure the fuck out. Well, that's too bad, man. You're our champ. We have to have a title fight at 155 in Anaheim. You got to fight in Anaheim. And for him to say Quest Laboratories will never again test my stuff, he doesn't have a choice in that because you don't get to choose who your testing is done by. He's a champ. If he becomes a champ again, he gets tested every time he fights. So every time he fights, he has to take a piss. Every time he pisses, it may go to Quest. Quest is a national testing facility. Whether they fucked up or not, doesn't make a difference. You know, another commission, Jersey Commission, may use it. New York Commission may use it, may use Quest. He doesn't have a choice. You know, you want to fight here because if he starts saying, I'm not going to fight in California and use Quest, and he gets that shot, he may never be able to fight again. That's a pretty tough thing to say behind. And I get his anger, though, too. I also get they did a lot of mistakes. Quest made a lot of fuck-ups and didn't admit to it. And the commission, just the way the whole thing was handled in California, the commission was bad. It was really bad. I have no idea why they even together they're going to act like that. It's just really poor. It's too bad that Sean had to be the guy that got guinea pig.
You know, there was a conversation you and I started on the show a couple weeks ago, and I actually got an answer. It had to do with when the article came out that Keith Kaiser said now they're going to start doing random testing, even if you don't have a fight coming up. And then so we kind of questioned, well, how are they going to do this, especially for some of the international fighters? And I read an interview, I believe it's on MMAJunkie.com. Where? On MMAJunkie.com. Where's that again? Hold on, I'm getting my pen and paper. Okay, you ready? MMAJunkie.com. Anyway, he stated that he feels very comfortable with the laboratories that they now have as part of their network all over the world, and this includes Brazil, this includes Europe, this includes I guess Asia, that they can ask for the fighter to go to that particular office or wherever they're set up in these countries, go there to the contacts they have and do the testing, and then have them, because we were saying, hey, do they have to come back to Vegas and do it, or does someone have to go out? But he actually said that they have contacts set up all over the world. So what control they have over them, who knows? But that's the answer he gave.
It's not that difficult, really, because this is how you do it. In my mind, I have no idea how they did it. I'm just saying this is one scenario of how it could be done. Every country has an Olympic governing body.
Yeah, exactly.
You send the guy to the Olympic governing body's testing site, whatever it may be, whatever they use. You go to that testing site, because the Olympic governing body is controlled by the IOC, International Olympic Committee. So all those testing sites are regulated by the IOC. So they're regulated worldwide by one organization. So it's if the IOC uses them, then the U.S. IOC can use it. The United States, International Olympic Committee can use it. It's very simple. Or the U.S. OC can use it. So if you have a guy in Japan, you send him to the Japanese OC.
Right.
If he's in Brazil, he goes to the Brazilian OC. All of them have Olympic committees. All of them have Olympic games. All of them are qualified for the Olympics for the summer or winter. They're all in them. So you send folks over.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. And in that sense, it just takes the gumption and the fortitude and the ability to organize it all together, make sure everyone understands where they're going, and get the names and addresses and everything.
All right. I'm going to read this stun gun story, and then we're going to go to our last commercial. It's from Corey O'Brien. You can see the venom spewing out of his mouth as he tells us. So I'm going to do it on behalf of him, and then goes, you get that stun gun ready, because I think this developer is going to need like 2 or 3 of them. He says, so I'm buying my first home. With the market in shambles, negotiations should be far from impossible. I offer this developer 90% of asking, and this guy comes back with $2,000 under asking. $2 fucking grand. What the fuck? No lighting allowance. Not shit. After 4 counteroffers, I finally accepted, but I had to concede because I really wanted the property. Stun gun this bitch of a developer. His asshole's so tight he needs corn surgically removed. Fuck his face.
Yeah, but really, he should be stun gunning himself.
Okay. All right, let's do that. Stun gun Corey goes.
Because Corey, in buying a house, if you're buying a house, right now it's a buyer's market, meaning it's your market. You tell the guy, look, I'm paying you 90%. He comes back with $2,000 under asking price. You go, okay, how about 88%? Like, what? You just keep getting worse. First offer you 90%. You came with some bullshit offer, so now I'm going to fuck with you. Here's 88%. I'm giving you 88% of the asking price. Well, hold on a second. You just got lower. Well, I know, because you're an idiot. At this market, you're not going to move this thing. If it's still sitting there, it's not going to move. Who the hell's going to get it? You got time to fuck with them. So, Corey, you should have messed with him more. You got a bad negotiator.
Take that, Corey. All right, Corey, you got a few minutes if you want to respond to that. In the meantime, we're going to go to our last commercial. This one's the quickie, so you can't take a dump during this one. Maybe a quick tinkle or... I don't know.
How come our commercials are built around fucking bodily functions? This one's the 5th break.
Exactly. All right. When we come back, we'll have Don Frye. I do have some questions ready to go. If you have some last-minute questions, PM me. Crooklyn, this is for you. Shout out. Great to see you in the combat chat today, and thanks for shouting me out yesterday. All right. Give us a couple minutes. We'll be right back on the TAGG Radio Network.
Ready to fight? Combative Apparel. Combative Apparel is just not a fight gear company, it's an all-sports company. Whether you train in boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, or kickboxing, Combative has your back. Just as Pride and Strikeforce veteran Gilbert El Nino Melendez, he sports Combative for all of his fights. So train harder, faster, smarter. Visit CombativeApparel.com and place your order today.
Okay, Captain Straub, we have the infamous codes of MySpace and Interrogation Room 1. This jerk is going down.